Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. And today, again, we jump into the deep waters of the Pacific for a turn 17, December 24th, 1941 resolution. Now, before we do that, last time we were going up the U.S. West Coast, we made it all the way to Vancouver, which is actually in Canada. You come here for the good information, right? We'll look at Prince Rupert. We'll then move up into Alaska very quickly, hopefully. Then we'll go down to Pearl Harbor. We need to look around Pearl Harbor. We've already kind of touched on Pearl Harbor through the repair shipyard, but I want to see what else is there. Hopefully, we get to Palmyra, Christmas Island. Then we'll resolve the turn. Apologies, I'm a little late. We leave on vacation tonight, and of course, the powers that be in European banking could not allow me to go on vacation without throwing like six curveballs, fire drills my way. Those are handled. Rest assured. If you were staying up at night wondering whether I took care of everything before vacation, it is done. It is done, and now we're into streaming and packing. We're into that portion of the evening. So anyway, let's get going. We'll move north out of Vancouver, which I understand is very beautiful. I've never been to Vancouver. Well, I mean, I say I understand. Everybody says Vancouver's beautiful, right? I've never actually been there, strangely enough, even though I now live on the West Coast, so I really should try it sometime. Um, okay, give me 1 second. I'm just setting up something here to make sure we're all a good and a go. And get there, get there. Come on. All right. That was behind the scenes stream stuff. I'm my own producer here. The wife helps with the lighting. Well, she does a little production too. I don't want her to get mad at me. Okay, now then, let's get over here to Vancouver. I could have used the mini map, but why do the easy thing? We've done that. We also even looked at Winnipeg this time earlier. Calgary. We know all of these. Everything's fine there. Now, you may remember this one American infantry battalion. I think this thing is marching 1,380 miles all the way up to Whittier, Canada. So, or is that in Canada or is that Alaska? I don't know. I don't know, and frankly, it doesn't really matter. It's marching north. It's landlocked over here to North America. Anyway, it's not going to really matter. Let's go to Prince Rupert and see what's happening in Prince Rupert. We have some training going on for naval search. Now you can see that's a 36 for this squadron. It needs a lot of training, so we're going to let that keep going. Prince Rupert surprisingly actually has a lot of stuff that gets here. I mean, we got 17,000 in supply. I mean, it's not comparable to some of the big ports out here, but really it's your second Canadian port. There's Vancouver, there's Prince Rupert. You know, you see the big rail line that comes here. Because of that, you'll get fuel here, you'll get a lot of supply here, and so okay, we're going to use it. That's what we do. Um, Let me see here. What do we want to do? What do we have here? We've got this cargo task force. We've got the local minesweeper. It says we've got one ship in port. What ship is that? Oh, it's actually a auxiliary gun. So a tender, ammunition tender. I mean, there's no reason to have this sit out here. It may as well float out to Pearl Harbor where we'll eventually need it. It's 12 victory points, so it's not like it's completely inconsequential. Let's go ahead and put that in a support task force. All right. And it's the AG Bridge. Okay. And we'll put support and we'll just send that out to Pearl Harbor. I'm just going to put support. We'll send that out to Pearl Harbor, and when it gets out there, it will sit just like all the other tenders and wait until we are doing something offensive. Why did that just happen? Get back up here. Prince Rupert, right? Did that give it the order? No, it did not. Now come on. Prince Rupert, Pearl Harbor. There we go. Hmm, just kind of jumping around there. And we'll set that as the home base as well. Question, is that the right route we wanted to take? Eh, I don't like it kind of going down here by Vancouver Island because that's actually where Japanese sub activity has been happening, just kind of right here through Victoria. Let's take it out this way. I don't see any reason why not. Might as well be safe. Rather safe than sorry. All right, use waypoints, waypoint 1. We'll just put waypoint 1 there, and then it can move on to Pearl Harbor. I think that's a little safer. That's an abundance of caution right there. What is this task force here? Okay, so Cargo Prince Rupert, we've got a little bit of ASW here. It's a 2. Um, okay, that's fine. We've got an aircraft tender. Okay, and we've got these 4 AKLs. Well, why don't we... Oh, it's already docked. Is it loading anything? No. Let's have it load supplies, and let's have this go down to Dutch Harbor. All right, because I want that tender to be at Dutch Harbor anyway, and when it gets here, I think I'm going to have it disband. Now, the reason I'm doing that is so I just don't forget to leave this ship there because I really need it out there. There's no reason to have that at Prince Rupert. We may as well put it out someplace where we may potentially need it. Probably not, but maybe. You never know. Um, okay. So that'll be taking supply out there, and any supply you can get out to these smaller islands. Doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. All right, that's all the ships in port. Now we still have well, we do have 2 base forces here. Interesting. And they're both scheduled for here. Okay, all of this is supposed to be here. Now, we have these on rest and training because they're those disgruntled Canadian troops that we haven't been able to figure out, other than the game probably doesn't want you to buy them out and send them out in the Pacific because it's ahistorical. But yeah, okay, we've moved through Prince Rupert. I expected there to be a little bit more. I know we have some stuff coming up here. Now, what do we have here at Oliford Bay? Oh, okay. So here's one of the task forces out of Prince Rupert, and it is unloading here at Oliford Bay this time. And you know what? That's probably enough supply for Oliford Bay. Why don't we have it um, cancel the unloading there? And let's send it to one of the other little spots up here. So we've got Annette Island, which has very little in supply. Now this base force, I do believe we moved over here. Sitka, this base force is supposed to move out of here, but it hasn't. Why don't we take this task force and we'll go have it unload up here at Annette Island. Does Annette Island even have, I think it has a port, right? Port capacity 1. Okay, good enough. So we'll just, we've got enough here out at Aliford. I think moving it up there and dropping some more off, that works for me. Sitka, this is that base force that is supposed to go to Cold Bay, and we just haven't gotten the ships up here to pick it up. We've got this AK, the Mount McKinley, which we're wasting by just sitting it here. It was supposed to meet with the transport, and they were both supposed to go to Cold Bay. I'm going to change this now, I think. Well, hold on. Hold on. Let's go back for a second. Let's look at the load cost. Yeah, that's why it's here. The load cost is big. We need a transport up here, though. I'm tempted to send it back to Anchorage, get supplies, and then it'll be here by the time a transport gets here. Well, we need to get one up there. We just haven't done it yet. Juneau is going to have its own base force. That's fine. Oh, that was the Mount McKinley, Stanley. We found it. The Mount McKinley. Butterfly effect. What's? I get it. Very nice. How's it going? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so we got to get something up to Sitka. Juneau's got its own Yucatan. I just like saying Yucatan. This is an infantry unit. It just calls it, it's a company, pretty small. 12 assault strength, not a whole lot going on with it, but it will be sitting here pretty much to the end of the game. You're not going to buy that out. There's nothing you're going to do with it. Let's check out Skagway. Hey, we have a Canadian base force here. Is this Commonwealth? Yeah, no, it's a Canadian unit. Base force. Okay. Two engineers hanging out here in Skagway. And then we marched this unit down here, I do believe. It's got a 36. We could potentially buy it out if we wanted to eventually, but we won't. So that's going to be here to the end of the game. Now, was that on combat? Yeah, it was. Okay, that's all set the way it should be. Juno was set the way it should be. We looked at that. Yucatan was set up. Cordoba. Let's look at Anchorage very quickly. Now we've got three squadrons out here. We got training going on, and we have some ASW happening. Yeah, perfect arc for that ASW. I like it. We've got a local minesweeper here. No ships in port, and we've got quite a few units, but I think they're all scheduled to be here just to sit in good old Anchorage and be cold and maybe dark. Um, yep, Anchorage. This is the 11th USAAF. If you're ever wondering, where the heck is the 11th? Because it's got a lot of planes that are down on the US West Coast. Also, Alaska Defense Command, the Corps headquarters, we have here. Now, in the Cole's spreadsheet, I think it said to send it to Seward. I just didn't do it. I would think that they would have stayed in Anchorage, although I can see the reason it would go out to Seward. I'm just going to leave it be. Here is Seward, named after the senator who thought it would be a good idea, or was he a cabinet member? I think he was a I think he was a former senator who became a cabinet member and said, "Hey, we should really buy all of this from Russia for $17 million." And everybody called it Seward's Folly. What a ridiculous idea. Well, I think the United States is glad that he had that ridiculous idea. Well worth $17 million, I think. And today's, if you think about all the natural resources they've probably gotten out of Alaska, I mean, it's more money than we have put together. Let's put it that way. We've got ASW Seward. We've got some patrol. Okay, they're running ASW. That is all fine. We got no ships in port, nothing else going on. They've got enough supply, enough fuel, which they will, because you've got this major rail coming down out of Anchorage, and so it's just going to naturally get stuff. Now, we did bring a couple of ships in here just to top them off, but they're fine. We've got patrol craft that are flying out over the smaller Alaska islands that are coming out of Kodiak, named after the bear. Or is it the other way around? I don't know. Combat Kodiak. Combat Kodiak. Okay, there we go. They're all set up. Wow, we've done a good job in Alaska. There's just not a whole lot to do up here. The main things we have to do is get this, this base force out of Sitka to Cold Bay because we would like to do a little something with Cold Bay, make it a little more substantial. Now this is unloading supply out here. That's good. What do we have here? I'm looking all over for a transport. The Columbian. Okay, cargo Dutch Harbor. It's going to be steaming in there. Now, Dutch Harbor is the main place we have in the islands out here. I also have mentioned before, I would like to do a little something at Adak Island. We haven't had an opportunity really to do it yet, but I would like to do it eventually. Dutch Harbor has a lot of ASW that happens at it. It's got a base force that's here. It's also got some artillery, an artillery battalion here at Dutch Harbor. You know, I've seen the Japanese come up here before. I certainly have. I'm not saying it's the normal state of play, but it does happen. Oh, we've got this submarine tender here, and that's actually already helped us. It rearmed a sub when it came in, I do believe. We've got a lot of tenders out here, and then we have this cargo ship is unloading. It's out of Seattle, came all the way out here. This one's out of Anchorage, the Dorothy Phillips. What a plain sounding name for a ship. It's the Dorothy Phillips. Okay. We brought fuel out here and we're going to keep doing that. It's actually got a pretty good capacity there. So we're bringing fuel in here. So when we bring the ships back, we've got plenty of fuel. Dutch Harbor, the main place out here in these islands. I don't know that there's a whole lot else to talk about when it comes to Alaska. Um, Nothing against the Alaskans, but it's kind of boring up here. Game wise. Don't write me angry letters. Um, I think that's it. We got to get this base force over here to Cold Bay. That's the main thing to remember. out of this turn in Alaska. Um, okay, let's get down to Hawaii where there's actually more action going on, and we've got Midway sitting up here. Now, the Japanese still haven't come after Midway. And that's fine by me. I don't want the Japanese to be at a base right up here, not that far away. It allows them to, stage some things out of here, more submarine attacks. If they got a submarine tender up here, what's the size of the port? It's only size 1, but that does have a level 4 airfield, so it can fly offensive bombing missions out of there. You know, if they're just going to leave it alone, we may as well reinforce and rebuff it. So let's do it. We've got some subs here hanging out. We've got a lot of ASW going in, on, and around the island. I do believe our carrier, our third carrier, excuse me, arrived here, and it did. As you can see, we've now got the Lexington, the Enterprise, and the Saratoga, all here at Pearl Harbor. The Lexington went the long way around to avoid the main Japanese task force by itself, and it's finally here. Automatic! What's going on? Oh, you've been up to Alaska in 1983. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. You're talking about somewhere else. Kiska and Attu? Interesting. Japanese tunnels. I would love to go see it. There's so many places I want to go. I always say that on all these streams. Hey, I'd love to go there. I'd love to go there. I got to get those frequent flyer miles working. I think actually my wife and I, our wedding anniversary is July 7th, and we're talking about maybe going to Alaska because it's the middle of the summer, and so hold on. Where's my drink? My drink got lost. Hold on. There we go. I'm a little thirsty. Uh, I've always heard, obviously, it's not rocket science to say, hey, go to Alaska in the summer, but I think that's, the perfect time, like in July, or so I've heard. We'll see. That's what we're planning on. I've always wanted to go to Alaska. Just I'd love to see a glacier or a seal or a penguin running around. I mean, you can see those things in the zoo. I'd love to see it in real life. So anyway, off of Alaska. Let's get down here to Pearl Harbor. Let's see if we can get something up to Midway. We've got 31 ships in port. Let's go check out what all that is. We do have an AP here. All right. So, did I say get up to Alaska? Midway, Midway. Hey, let's try to get a transport up to Midway. We've got a couple of transports, 3 transports I see now up here. We've also got light cruisers. We've got cruisers. We could put those in with one of the carriers, at least for now. Well, I guess the Saratoga doesn't need it. It's got 4 cruisers and 3 light cruisers. That's plenty. I just kind of want to get some of the things out of port so I'm not constantly looking at them. So why don't we do this? We'll put the Indianapolis, the Raleigh, and the Honolulu. Oh shit! Did I just take those out? No, good, good. I was like, did I just take them out of an existing task force? I hate when I do that. But it looks like no, we're fine. Okay, so I put those in just with what? The Enterprise. Okay, now it's got 3 cruisers and 3 light cruisers. Doesn't matter. They're probably not going to be in the task force when this does anything. I like to put them with my battleships and go bombard things in the first wave. And then, the aircraft carriers are behind with the destroyers running ASW. Now, you can put in light cruisers and cruisers if you think you're going to need a lot of AA. Um, if you're going to be in a carrier battle with the Japanese, you may want to keep some of these close. The U.S. Cruisers and light cruisers generally just have a lot of AA. I mean, a lot. And so they are good sometimes to take with them, depending on what you're doing. Just depends if you're going to get Japanese air activity or not. If you are, you may want to keep these around for their AA. Now, this one's not too good, the Raleigh, but some of, especially the later model U.S. cruisers and light cruisers, are just bristling with anti-aircraft. Herondale, Blomfontein. What's the other one? I saw some other one that's a transport here. Okay, that gives us something to think about. What else do we have? We got a lot of ships under repair. Now we just looked at this. These battleships are coming out soon, so that'll be good. Okay, why don't we go look at the ground units? Let's look at the ground units really quickly. We've got this 4th Marine Defense Battalion that we said we were going to send to Nadeni. Now, does that maybe we send the Marines up to Midway? What do they got here? 33 assault strength. I don't want to get them trapped up there, meaning I don't want them to get up there and then have the Japanese come and cut us off because we're in no shape yet to get into a carrier battle with the Japanese. So we're not going to try to do that. Right, the southern. Okay, I just wasn't familiar with the names of the islands on a match. Thank you very much. Yeah, the Japanese occupied them in 1941 to 43. So those southern kind of tip islands down there. I knew that they had occupied some. I just didn't know what the names were. So cool. Yeah, I bet you they did tunnel. The Japanese were good at as building those island tunnels. That's for sure. Um, hmm. I'm tempted to run these Marines out there to Midway. What about this engineering unit? What are they up to? They're set for Pearl Harbor, but they're Pacific Fleet. They could go somewhere else. Why don't we do it? Why don't we put these Marines? 890 troop, 950 cargo. So those are our load costs. Okay, 850 and 950, basically. Let's get to active ships. 850, 950. Okay, well, the Hirondale couldn't take them by itself. Um, Blomfontein. Yeah, this can take it. Okay, heck with it. Let's do it. What about the Etolin? Yeah, this could do it as well. Okay. Fine. Let's pick the Blomfontein, and we'll put it with something that's got ASW, so these guys don't get hurt, or at least we hope. All right, we'll put that in. Done. Okay, and now let's go back to the port and see who's got ASW capability. Uh, um, who would have good ASW here? Probably one of the, nope, that's an ACM. Whoops, we don't want to move those. AOG, the PG maybe? A 2, okay, patrol gunboat. That can go out. Oh, that was a PC, I guess. What else? What else? We got a destroyer tender. That's got no ASW though. We have this AVD which has a 2. Maybe we'll send this with it. Uh, it's an aircraft tender. I guess that could go out to Midway. Sure. Let's do that. The AVD. Why not? Okay. The Blomfontein is what a Dutch. Is that a Dutch ship? Yeah, it is. Okay. We're using the Dutch for our own purposes. I like it. Okay, the Hulbert, we'll send you out there. Okay, I could also. Nah, I'll leave that there. Okay, done. And let's call that Transport Midway. And we'll get some Marines on the island. Let's dock it. Let's load troops. Yeah, we don't have these in strategic mode. Not yet. Not yet, but we will. We're not taking the air groups. It's not down here. Here it is. 4th Marine Defense Battalion. We can put that into strategic. And okay. I don't know. I keep thinking like deeply about this, but it's fine. It's fine. I just think it's fun to go put them out here on Midway. Um, just making sure we didn't have to amphibious land on Midway. But I kind of feel like if the Japanese haven't taken it yet and they're just going to leave it alone, we may as well beef it up. Make it harder for them to do because it's a real thorn in your side when they take Midway because they can just run a lot of things at you from fairly close, right? Um, Have you ever split up the regiment on Bataan and distributed in places like Jalo and Port Maria to defend the line of communications to Bataan? I have not, but I think that's a pretty dang good idea. I like that. I guess I just it never really occurred to me to split that up. I kind of let those Filipino units or the units in the Philippines, whether they be American or Filipino, I kind of leave them out to dry a little bit. But that being said, I think that's a good idea. Um, Okay, do we have anything else? Well, why don't we look at the airplanes really fast? We've got ASW going, we've got training going. We're still flying all of this cap that is not really necessary. We don't need to be flying that much cap. Certainly, I wish I could just click right here and set those, but you can't. Oh, there's some of these are training. Well, they've got 54 experience. Wow, their morale is terrible. What did they get chewed up at the Pearl Harbor? These P-36A Mohawks. Look at that. Their morale's at 37. I'm sorry, guys. Man, that's not good. All right, we're gonna bump these down all to like 40 or 50. They don't really need to train much more, so I'm just gonna bump them down, let them rest a little bit. They're obviously they're pissed off at me. They're down to 31 morale? Come on. We ought to put them on rest, really. Maybe it's because they've been going ever since Pearl Harbor, and they're just like, they've had it. Now, see, 71 morale here. I don't know why those three units. Maybe it's because they're flying Mohawks. They're like, I don't have any morale, man, because I don't want to be flying this plane. They're like, give me a Warhawk. Why am I the guy flying the Mohawks? All right, we're gonna turn all these down to 40. There, look, you want to have some cap up over Pearl Harbor. I think that kind of speaks for itself. But running these at 60, 50 is what I normally run them in a war zone. So having them run 60 over Pearl Harbor is not really making anybody happy. Maybe that's what it is. They're like, phew, do I ever get any R&R around here? Training, that's all good. ASW, training, training, training. Here's another Escort 60. Yeah, these are carrier capable. Now, they would have to get on a carrier and we would have to train them. Maybe we should do that though. All right, I'm going to think about that, but I think we should maybe pop these guys onto a carrier, train them, have them fly off the carrier, and so we have a backup. I think that's probably the best thing to do, actually. I'll have to remember that. F4F, well, these are always the fighters on carriers early on. Yeah. Well, they've got a 99 morale. Wow. These guys are happy. Must have gone to a luau. Search, 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 all 50. Okay, so we got a lot of search going on. A lot of things going on here airwise. Um, we just looked at all this. I'm not going to go back through it. A lot of naval search around here. I should probably do some dedicated ASW, but I'm not going to worry about it this time. I am going to think about transferring, while we're just sitting here with the carriers, I am going to think about transferring one of the carrier aircraft squadrons off, um, and then transferring that one on and having it run training missions. Uh, That's right, Peter. It's like this guy's having pizza parties. He's going back to the Caribbean. So, what are we doing out here? Uh, indeed, indeed. Maybe I'll throw them a pig roast out here on Hawaii and try to get these guys' morale up. They're like our commander. All he does is run around in his sunglasses. Acted. He's probably hung over. He's flying all around. Indeed, indeed. Okay, let's go see what task forces we have here that are doing things. We've got a mine layer. Now we've called this. Oh, this is the mine layer that's supposed to be going to Australia. Let's replenish this if we can. Okay, we did get a little fuel out of that, and let's send it. We're just gonna have to skip it down here. So we'll go to Christmas Island first, and that's why I like to name these like Mine Lay Australia. So there's so many units, right? By the time you get to a certain point, you're like, huh, what? Um, I think what I'm gonna do. Well, I'll keep changing its home port too. So we'll bring it into Christmas. We'll get some more fuel. I could go quite a bit further. I could go a lot further than that. Let's maybe bring it all the way around to Suva, and I maybe only have to skip it twice. We're not going to take that waypoints. I'll tell you that. That's not a good place to head if you're a single ship out in the middle of the Pacific. Let's bring it, down here around near Caroline Island. All right, that's much better. We'll float south, straight around to Suva. God, that's a beautiful waypoint setting by me. A master of the waypoints. What else do we? Oh, wow. Look at this tanker task force. This is the one that's unloading in here. Look at that. Look at all the stuff in here. We're up to 759,000 fuel. Now, question, should we take any of these out and start running other missions somewhere? Um, I don't think so. The only one I would is maybe this Gulfland. This doesn't have a that big of a cargo or capacity. We'll leave it. I mean, we've got a lot coming out from LA, right? SO Richmond, this could be in that one. Merge Seattle to Pearl Harbor. Well, obviously, this did not merge. Let's see if we can find the one that came out here. Replenish Pearl, this is out of San Francisco. Massive, massive amounts of fuel coming out here. Cargo Pearl, and that'll be going back to Seattle. Okay, so all of our first runs out from the U.S. West Coast have made it to Pearl Harbor. We've got these PT boats that are just kind of sitting here not doing jack diddly, as did most of these PT boatmen out here. What was that show, McHale's Navy? Are any of you guys even old enough to have watched McHale's Navy? Weren't they on PT boats like out in at Pearl Harbor or something? Um, that was a good show. I don't know. I thought it was funny anyway. There was that time period in like the 60s or maybe the early 70s where there were all of those kind of shows that sort of made fun of military experience. I think it was because all those World War II veterans were getting old enough they could kind of laugh about it at that point. But there was like what was the show? Why can't I think of this? What was the show where they were prisoners of war? The Americans were, and they were always like, they could always escape if they wanted to because the Germans were such buffoons, but they didn't because they always had to help somebody, like, somebody had parachuted in and they had to help him get out. Um, Ernest Borgnine was yeah, he was in McHale's Navy, right? What's the show I'm thinking about in the German, like, a prisoner camp where the Americans would just like run circles around them. And, Colonel Klink, I remember that guy. He was like the head German guy, and then the fat German soldier that was like their main guard. Uh, yes, Hogan's Heroes. Thank you. I used to love Hogan's Heroes. And man, it's kind of funny they could laugh about a German POW camp like that, but okay. But there was just a real bunch of those shows, like Gomer Pyle. Remember Gomer Pyle? Like it was all just like the army was kind of made fun of, and I don't know. I don't know. It was a weird phase of television. Transport Midway. Okay, this is what we just set up. That transport out there. We have the DMS. It's a minesweeper. Do I have? Why is this not set? Oh, it does have a patrol zone. Okay, it's just back in here fueling up. We have these DMs. They're mine layers. Where did I want to? Oh, okay. Do they have mines? They do. They do. Okay. So we've got mines there. Again, our carriers. We've got more mine layers. Holy smokes, how many mines? Yeah, it loaded on Mark 6 mines, so okay, should we lay them? Let's lay them. Let's lay mines out here. We've got also have well, I guess I could go and maybe lay them at Midway. That'd be fun. Let's take some mine layers out here. Let's make sure that they've got mines on them though. I kind of just cursory glance at they do. They all got restocked with Mark 6 mines. So let's put some of those at Midway. That'll be quite a little surprise for a Japanese task force if it shows up. The Gulf King, the Emilio tanker, Pearl Harbor out of LA. Okay. Cargo to Suva. Huh. Have we just not? Let's dock it. Let's load it, and let's get it going out to Suva. I guess we already took it out there once, and it's already come back. Sometimes I forget we're that far into the game. Yeah, okay. We'll go out here to Suva, and of course we got to set our waypoints. Let's see. Okay, I think that works. Then it'll just come around the corner again. Um, God, those were good memories. I'm old enough that I remember when you only had 13 channels on cable. And so, it was on TBS, and I'm from around the Chicago area, so we had WGN and TBS, and those were the only two like super stations. And they would have that block from like noon until 5 in the afternoon that was like Andy Griffith, Hogan's Heroes, McHale's Navy, like just like Leave It to Beaver and stuff. So I think I've seen every episode um, of those shows ever. I think I've seen every Leave It to Beaver. Anyway, how do you transport the PT boats across the Pacific? They make a fine speed bump, and perhaps Ambon or perhaps Rabal. Rabal. Thank you, Butterfly Effect. It is Rabal. Yes, I've called it Raboul for about 90 episodes, but it is indeed Rabal. You are correct. Um, Schultz. Holy smokes. I'm gonna have to go back on like I think they have that on like Nick at Night or TV Land or whatever the hell it's called now. They surely have some of that stuff. Or even on Netflix, maybe I could find it. Who knows? That's some real memories there. How do you get PT boats across there? Well, if you want to kind of cheat, you can put them with ships that have a huge endurance, and they'll share their fuel with the PT boats. So if you got like a big oiler that's got a lot of fuel, and you sail it down here and then around to Rabaul with all those PT boats, you could get it over there. I sometimes try not to do stuff like that. Depends how bad you're trying to win. Like if you're playing one of your friends, by all means, get your PT boats over there however you can. Against the AI, I don't generally do that kind of stuff. Not that it's not a good idea, for like min-maxing the game. I just don't often do that, against the AI. You've got enough advantages anyway. Okay, I think we're through all the ships here, and I did want to get to just a few other things before we run the turn, which is to just look out here at Palmyra and see what's going on. Gosh darn it, we're low on fuel. Now, please tell me this is coming into Palmyra with fuel and supply, or one or the other. Supply. Okay, perfect. That's good. I've just got like so little out here at Palmyra. It needs supply. We also need fuel, obviously, but let's get some supply for the troops out here. We've already got some Marines out here at Palmyra, so that's nice. Are they still? Yeah, no, they're in combat mode. We've got some engineers. I do believe we're just building the fortifications. Yeah. Oh, we're expanding the port too. Wow, how many engineers do we have out here? 9. Okay, and we've got vehicles, so they are, and it's a U.S. Navy group, so that's perfect. We're building that port to get it a little bigger. Well, that's good. We've got stuff out here. You can see the patrol that we're doing there. We do have some ASW down here with the AM Robin. I wouldn't mind getting a destroyer or two down here. I think we sent some down. What are these ships in port? Oh, here we go. Okay, these are those other. We've got a minesweeper. Well, let's set that up. Minesweeping. Okay, there we go. Minesweeper. Okay, there we go. The DMS. I don't know why I had such a hard time clicking that button. There we go. Minesweep Palmyra. Let me name that so I don't forget what the heck it's doing, although it doesn't take a whole lot to figure it out. And let's set a little patrol zone for that. It's got a decent endurance, so we'll just kind of go around the island, but we're not going to get far away from the island. One, we'll just have it crisscross, kind of back, forth, and over, just in case the wily Japanese decide to lay some mines out here. That would really take some forethought. I don't think the AI is going to get that crazy, but okay. We also have, well, that's the local mine sweeper, and we have a mine layer. Okay, so let's do the local mine sweeping as well. Um, why is this not showing me a local mine sweeper? Well, I don't know, but we're gonna do it this way. Now, that other one will do ASW work as well, so cool. Oh, it has no fuel. I see. Okay, well, that's interesting. Uh, local mine sweep. Okay. Even though it's not really. Wow, we don't have enough fuel to even be like getting these task forces to do anything. We need to really take care of that. What is the ASW on the Perry? It's a 2. Okay, that's the one that I have going back and forth. So if anything's just sitting out here, then we have a mine layer. So let's mine lay. Now, did this pick up mines in Pearl Harbor? I certainly hope it did. I hope I didn't forget to. I think it was already preloaded, but did I use them? No, we got mines. All right, well, these will degrade, but we can always go back and get some more. So let's mine lay, and then we'll set its home port at Pearl Harbor so that it automatically goes back there and gets more mines. Uh, Perfect. Okay, Christmas Island. What's happening here? Got a lot of supply. We got no fuel. We need some fuel. All right, this is still dropping off that. It's going to head. Oh, this is set as a home port here. We've got all the same things. I'll set those up next time. It's going to be fully unloaded next time. And then we have a mine layer out here that is laying mines. All right. We don't have any ships in port. I think that's it. I think we can run the turn. That's as far as does anyone else end up with a situation where fighter pilots are assigned to the bomber reserve? I ended up getting a bomber groups having pilots with high air to air and not air to ground. I can't say that I've ever had that problem, Joe. Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen that problem, so I don't know exactly what to do with it other than just monitoring it turn by turn. Uh, Yeah, I mean, really, you just have to go back and transfer them out and move them around. Um, but I've never had that problem directly. Could be definitely be a bug in the game. I mean, there's so many moving parts here, but it's surprising there aren't more. So let's save this. We're down to Let's Play 1224. We'll save it, and then let's run the turn. I got to get on a plane at 1 a.m. Los Angeles time. So in about what 8 hours. Uh, it's hard to get from LA to Aruba. You got to fly to Miami. So we're going to take one plane to Miami, drop off there, then transfer in the Miami airport down to Aruba. There's no direct flights, obviously. Now, I guess you can fly through Caracas, but I was like, let's fly through Miami instead. That's fine. And we wanted to get there, get there like during the day, so we had like a whole nother day rather than flying out first thing in the morning and you don't get there till like 6 o'clock at night and you're exhausted. The way it is, it's like we're going to get there at like 2 p.m. tomorrow or something like that. So anyway, but we have to go out of LA at 1 in the morning. So if you ever want to meet me, show up at LAX at 1 in the morning. If you're there holding a sign, Strategy Gaming Dojo. Uh, Saint Vincent. Hey Stanley, how's it going? Stanley, you were yelling at me in the comments of some video. I didn't read the whole thing, but I mean, I didn't. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just was busy with my regular work, and I saw that you commented that I didn't finish China on one of the YouTube or one of the Let's Play videos. I did like 2/3 of China. Um, Sorry, Stanley. I'm sorry. I don't know. I must have just moved on, but I'm not sure why. I'll have to go back and look. Let's end the orders phase and let's see what happens. I'm very curious to see when they're going to land on Rabal. Rabal. I just like to say Rabal now that I feel like I know how to say it. Um, because that should be coming. They should be landing on northern Borneo. They continue to move down Malaya. Uh, so many things going on. Oh, also, yeah. Um, they're almost to Manila. They're one hex away from Manila. They're coming down to Clark Field. That's going to really heat up. All right. Let's see where they're bombing. I don't know. Maybe they'll take Christmas Eve off. I doubt that. I don't think the Japanese respected such niceties. I mean, in World War One, right? That's kind of famously in World War One, the French and the British and the Germans all took Christmas Day off, didn't they? In like 1915, something like that. Thanks, Stanley. Yes, my staging base is in Miami. That's right. The one line's going to go there. That'll be our staging base. So if you guys want to meet up for the trip, that's where we're staging. Indeed, that's funny. Wow, it's taking a little while to get through there. The AI, the gears are really turning here. Oh, Joseph, they have a lot of old episodes on YouTube of that stuff. Excellent, excellent. I'm gonna go back and watch some of that. Uh, I haven't watched some of those shows since I was a kid, but talk about good memories. Running home from school at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I grew up part of the time with my grandparents, and my grandfather was in World War II. I think I've mentioned this before. He was a tank repairman on the western, in the Western Europe. So he was across France and into Belgium at times. But he loved those shows, like the old war, kind of making fun of the war kind of shows. He liked them. The DD Helm, ASW attack. Oh, good. So we got ASW here out on a sub, but nothing happened. But maybe we scared them, right? And a bombing attack. Now you see we've got clouds all over the Philippines, except where they're going to hit us. And somebody told me, isn't this Batangas, maybe? Because I keep saying Batangas, but maybe it's Batangas. Uh, I trust you. The Sally, 14 of them in here. They destroyed the Catalina that we had here on the ground. I think that was the only thing we had left there. They did hit the runway for 3 points. The 12 Sallies in again on the Batangas, maybe. One runway hit. Lingayen, we don't have any planes there. Are they hitting the airfield? Yep, they hit the runway. Okay. Coming in on Singapore. Well, this should be a heck of a battle. It's at night though. We don't get any cap up at night. Um, we damaged four of their sallies. I mean, that really had to be from flak or operational losses, and they got nothing down on our runways, which is good. Looked like there may have been cloud cover over Singapore. Two runway hits at Lingayen again. Okay, we don't have any planes at Lingayen, so they can hit their own what's going to become their own runway as much as they want. Sweet Dad says PT boats in real life did get shipped in transports, the famous PT 109. Okay, interesting. Oh, Batongas, Batongas. Okay, perfect. I'm glad that you chimed in there since you know. Oh, there here comes the amphibious assault at Jalo. Now that I was not expecting that. I think the AI The alarm bells for, or the big red flag went up on Jalo there because we had all of those capital ships there for a moment. And so now they're assaulting it. I mean, it is right in the middle of all of that, in between Borneo and the Philippines. So it's not a terrible place to be. I mean, that's why we had our staging base that came back there from Hong Kong. I don't know that I've ever seen them do that before, though. Usually they land on Mindanao, on Luzon, and then that force would have gone to Tarakan, but okay. Batangas. I got it. Sub attack, the Tarpon, but it didn't hit anything. Got those Mark 14s out there. Get some ASW on that dang sub. Oh, that could not. That's not good. That's not good. Okay. So this is out here by Balabak. There is a light cruiser, the Katori. We got in 3 shell hits on that. Okay. Another light cruiser, the Kashima, and 2 destroyers. We actually got 1 hit on the destroyers and or in this destroyer, and it's on fire. Wow! And we had an AVD, a destroyer tender, and a transport ship out here. So that destroyer tender really did some good work, hitting a light cruiser and a destroyer. Wow. I want to kind of go down here. Um, Now I wish I would have had the animations on in that. We could have had a big cheer. Task forces break. Oh, wow. Okay. I'll take that. If we took out a destroyer with a destroyer tender and potentially, did damage to a cruiser, can't ask for much more than that. Sub attack, the Sargo or the Sarjo maybe. Some cargo and a destroyer out here. We didn't hit anything. We sent 2 torpedoes at that AK, but we didn't hit it. We're snooping. We're snooping and being snooped. I'm not sure if I gave my assent to that. A good old snooping. Joe says he ran home to watch Ultraman, McHale's Navy, Hogan's, and Star Trek. What a lineup, man! They don't make TV like that anymore. I sound like an old man when I say that, but it's true. Like those lineups that they had, on TBS and WGN, because they basically were the only 2 channels that had that kind of stuff, were just amazing. Oh, remember the US? Oh, there was also US. Well, I said USA, right? No, I said TBS. But we also had USA Network, the old Cartoon Express. That's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. They're coming in to hit Rangoon. Let's see what happens. 8 zeros, so they send escorts. Good job, AI. 10 Bettys, 13 Oscars. Oh, okay. 2 damaged Bettys, 1 destroyed by flak, and we got an Oscar destroyed, and we lost 1 Flying Tiger, 1 Blenheim, 1 Buffalo. 1 flavor of each, but they did get torpedoes off. Shoot. So they hit the Nirvana, the patrol gunboat, the Hindustan, and the Nirpura. Eh, we already lost the patrol gunboat. That's gone. The 2 AKs are on fire with heavy damage. That's a good bombing run for them. I feel like the Flying Tigers started off so strong, but they've really not been crushing it lately. Wu Chao, they're hitting the runway. That's fine. Kuala Lumpur. Oh, they are bombing Medan again over here on Sumatra. So they're going to be coming to Sumatra pretty soon. I usually march all of these troops down to Palembang, but I didn't do it this time because Cole doesn't do it. It's not historical. I get that. Fortress Palembang is bad, but it's so tempting to march them down there. I'm not sure why the Dutch didn't do it. That's the only thing the Japanese need on Sumatra is the oil in Palembang. Yes, MASH was great. Combat, 12 o'clock high. You guys are just talking my childhood. Um, Coming in on Rangoon, we had another Flying Tiger destroyed. We better not lose them too fast. I'm going to have to maybe kind of move them about, give them a little rest. They've just been getting chewed up. Sabang is getting. Now, Sabang, we actually have several good troop formations out here. Good units. Oscar's 9, Lily's 6. Got a runway hit there. Torpedo, aircraft sighting over Hengyang. Okay. All right. Well, the first action of the day, mm, we got a bad result there at Rangoon. When they come in on 3 ships, we only knock 3 out. They knock 3 of ours out, and they get all the ships. That's not great. Got level bombers coming in on Bataan. Um, Tawi Tawi. I like saying that one. Oh, something was snooped near Suva there. Last time they had a submarine that was right around Suva, which I hate that. Okay, 3 Japanese ships near Davao. More of this task force is moving down here. 4 ships near Balabac. Here come airstrikes. Let's see what happens. Batangas. Batangas! Okay, zeros, Betties, Nates. We only got 3 planes up for cap, and 2 of them got destroyed. Okay, we did damage Betty, and they're all over the airbase and all over the runway. So that's pretty much done now. Betty's hit Batangas again. Okay. Now they're hitting in China. Nothing happened there. That's okay. Oh, we've got our what all did we get up here? Okay. So this is over Changsha. Now this is where we transferred these Chinese I-15s down here to Changsha to protect this Flying Tigers bit here. Now, there are only 5 of them got in the air. There are still 10 at this air base that we want to get up to Chongqing and get them the heck out of Changsha. So the Chinese are trying to hold on. Now, what happened here? Oh, good result. Okay, so we knocked down 3 Nells, 3 destroyed, and we only lost 1 I-15. So that whole gambit's worked out really well. The Chinese aircraft are protecting us. I never thought I'd say that. AM Bittern is being attacked by 8 Lilies. Nothing much happened there. Wen Chao being bombed. Okay. I mean, we've got a unit there. Guess they're trying to soften us up a little bit. Medan and Sabang they're getting hit quite often now. Again in China. 6 Tojos and 6 Sonyas, or 5 Tojos, 6 Sonyas. Okay, nothing happened. 12 Sonyas in on Batangas. And Wen Chao again. Just citing things. Bridge on the River Kwai is actually a fantastic movie, Stanley. That is true. That is true. Lost in Space. You guys know my TV. Sonia's 12 in again. Wow, they're just hitting the heck out of Sumatra this time. I wonder if, and here it comes in on Rabal. 15 Bettys. We did take some ground losses. Okay. Now then they're going to hit Bataan over here. 9 Bettys. One of them got damaged. We did take some casualties. We've got quite a bit of a large number of troops here. Betty got damaged hitting Manila Bay. Wen Chao, Recon, torpedo bomber. I doubt that was a Japanese torpedo bomber. That's what that said over, that far inland. I find that hard to believe. Air transport phase. Okay, we're transferring those things from Bima around. Oh yeah, there's our transport out to Kunming where we're getting supplies, and out of Port Moresby. We're getting supplies to all 3 of these places. I like that. Nirvana sinks. The AK Nirvana sinks. So we lost 2 ships. Oh. Submarine attack near Oosthaven. The Van Imhoff. Oh, crap. I think this is the 224 RAF. 12 casualties reported. Dang. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That's the only transport we'd be possibly running through here. Don't sink. It did sink. Oh no. Yeah. Sub attack near Balabak. Our S-36 hits 5. We're on fire. We put 13 shells into this Japanese cargo. Boy, this has been not the best turn I've ever seen here. Uh, well, the 224 RAF, I think the 223 is now that's back in Singapore is now very happy that they didn't win that coin flip. Sub attack near Victoria, we got the Mugford all over that, trying to get at that sub. Rangoon, gosh darn it, I can't believe we lost that transport. Of all things, I should have had a destroyer come out and meet it. Hopefully they fished enough of that 224 RAF out of there that it's still a functioning unit. I think that's one of the few times I've ever had a command sunk like that. Ooh. I like the Pacific too, KG. That's a good call. I mean, Band of Brothers was awesome. I love Band of Brothers too, but the Pacific was really good. It was underrated, I think, because of Band of Brothers being kind of such a phenomenon, or everybody knows that name. Whereas if you just call something the Pacific, it doesn't sound quite as I don't know, doesn't sound quite as official or as catchy. Maybe that's the word I was looking for. Um, Chinese cores moving all over, which is good. We're moving into Xinjiang there. That's going to be one heck of a battle. Now we got the clouds on. We can't see. We're in the hex now, though. At least one of those units is. And we're moving down the road there. We're almost to, gosh, I always forget. Oh, Hankow. It's right there in the swamp. Could have seen that. Yeah, we got a lot of Chinese forces marching. I'm going to go ahead and escape through that. Japanese shock attack near Taiping. Okay. 5,000 troops to our 216. A 232 to 2 assault value. I think the Japanese won that one. We took 295 losses. They took none. So, yeah. Okay. Bombardment attack near Wuchang. Right. Okay. They did take Chusen here, this base here. So we're retreating. That's fine. That was expected. I say. I say that confidently in the staff meetings. We expected to lose Chusen. Obviously. They're like, sir, that's not how you pronounce that. Attacking force. Japanese shock attack near Chusen. Chusien. Sure. 7 to 1. Capture. They've captured it now. So we're retreating out of there. Ground attack near Kwasai. Okay. Attacking force 16,000. We had 1322 on the defense. Wow. Okay. We pretty much evened them up on the assault. The adjusted were pretty even because we were on the defense. Japanese lost a little over 1,000, and so did we. Wow, that was a very even battle there. Bombardment attack near Kwasai. All right. I think that does it. Oh, man, that was maybe our worst turn of the war so far. At least the war in the Pacific. I probably had some worse in Europe. Yeah, we lost the 224 RAF on a transport, plus the transport. We lost 3 ships out at Rangoon. The Flying Tigers kept getting whittled down this turn. We'll be all right. I think we'll be all right. I should have never put this thing on very difficult. Nah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll hold on. AI's playing well though. I like it. Everything I've seen so far. I mean, I'm surprised their main task force isn't down near Singapore or down near Java yet, but that's fine by me if they're going to play a little more conservative with it. I think sometimes the AI can get a little willy-nilly with that thing and get a little too aggressive. Uh, not that there's a whole lot you can do about it this early in the war, but I've had them pick off some things here and there. from time. Um, oh wow, you guys are getting into some good discussion down here. I'm gonna have to go back and read that. As is, I've got to get off to War in the East too, and then I have to get my hair cut. I've got to pack. I've got a lot to do. We got a lot of things coming in here on Christmas Day. The AK governor, a lot of stuff at Aden. Oh, and then we have those planes that came in at Mojave or are coming in at Mojave. Going to be hot as hell out there, boys. Maybe not middle of December. Desert can get a little cold. And I think that's going to do it. And yes, we center back over Pearl Harbor here. Let's go look at our report, our intelligence report. Air-to-air losses were pretty even today. We actually had 4 planes destroyed on the field. They had 1 by flak. We had 3 operational losses. Okay, what I really want to see is these ships sunk this turn. Well, the Van Imhoff was only a 4-point ship. Let's go see. It doesn't show us what the cargo was, does it? I don't think it shows us this here. Maybe was this not the 24 RAF, 224 RAF? Now I'm really curious. Okay, we didn't actually lose that much. I mean, the Nirvana was an 11-point ship, but if you send cargo into Rangoon at this point, you're rolling the dice to say the least. Units destroyed. Is it going to show us this? Okay, I don't really see. The 1st Middlesex Battalion was destroyed. I don't remember that. 1st Marine Defense Battalion. Guam, yeah, we knew that. Huh. All right. Now, well, I'm gonna go out there and find out. You know that. This is driving me nuts already. Where is that task force that had the 224 RAF on it? Is this it? This is it. Oh, wow. So this sub is right here. Was the Van Imhoff in this? Maybe it was. Well, when we come back next time, Stanley, I know that you love when I say that. Uh, when we come back next time, I'll forget to go back to. No, I won't, Stanley. We'll go check out the 224 RAF and see what's going on there. I don't know. I think we maybe lost one transport ship with some of them on there, but we're still kicking as far as I can tell with the 224 RAF. Thank you guys so much. I'll be back up in like 10 or 15 with War in the East 2. It might be a little quicker one. I got to get these, beautiful locks, trimmed before I get to Aruba. So I'm looking nice for, I'm sure the wife's going to want to take a lot of pictures. So I got to look okay. Anyway, thank you guys so much. I do appreciate it. Over the next several days, to be honest with you, it may be uploads instead of live streams. It just depends what my internet's like down there. But it'll probably be uploads. But I will be uploading episodes, and to the extent I do, I'll try to do it at the same time that we usually live stream. And so you can check them out then. It'll be almost like I'm here. Anyway, have a good one. I'll talk to you guys later.